Hi, I'm nikkigraber, and I will be discussing 3rd grade geometry, all about rhombuses. Rhombus's sides are parallel to one another. That means they are exactly the same length of the side opposite of them.
As you can see, these two sides are of the same length.
A rhombus does not have to look the same.
As long as it's a flat shape with 4 equal sides, it qualifies as a rhombus.
Because rhombuses have 4 equal sides, that also makes them quadrilaterals.
A quadrilateral is formed from 4 straight lines connecting. Quadrilaterals are some of the most common types of shapes.
There's one more category rhombuses fall under, and that would be a parallelogram. Parallelograms require the opposite sides of a flat shape to be parallel and the same length, just like a rhombus. What's cool about the rhombus? If you know the length of one side, you automatically know the length of all the sides because of the property of the quadrilateral. That's what makes the rhombus one of the most unique shapes. To find the perimeter, you must add up all the lengths of the sides. It's important to find the perimeter because it gives you the total number of inches of a shape.
Certain people, like architects, use perimeter in their everyday life.
To find the area, you must multiply the length times the width of your rhombus.
Finding the area within shapes is important because it tells us the amount of space inside those shapes.
If each angle of a rhombus is 90 degrees, it makes a perfect square. The most famous example of a rhombus is a baseball field.
We can find rhombuses in our everyday lives.
What are some shapes people confuse the rhombus with? 2 examples are a diamond and a kite. For a rhombus to be a rhombus, all 4 sides must be the same length. As you can see with this kite, 2 of the lengths are shorter. Therefore, the kite is not a rhombus. Some relatives of the rhombus are trapezoids, kites, rectangles, and squares. All of these are related because they are all also quadrilaterals.
Quadrilaterals are flat shapes with 4 sides.
A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides.
Only the 2 sides are the same in length.
A kite has 2 pairs of sides that are adjacent, which means that the equal sides meet.
You can see how the 2 equal sides are touching on both ends.
Another relative of the rhombus is a rectangle. To make a rectangle, you must have 4 right angles. To make a right angle, it must be 90 degrees.
The rectangle is the most famous example of the quadrilateral.
What's cool about a square is that it isn't just a square, but it's also a rhombus. Like a rhombus, a square has 4 congruent sides, meaning they are all the same in length.
Rhombus's diagonals bisect each other. For example, the distance from A to E is the same length as the distance as E to C. With this being said, the length from E to B is also the same distance as E to D. Where can you find a rhombus in everyday life? You can find rhombuses everywhere, ranging from jewelry to decorations, patterns, road signs, sculptures, and even toys you may play with. Without rhombuses, life just wouldn't be the same. Before I go, I think it's important to review some vocabulary. Adjacent, equal sides of the same length touching. Finding the area is when you multiply the length times width to determine the amount of space inside a shape. Finding the perimeter is adding up all the sides to get the total number of the shape. Quadrilateral is any flat shape formed by 4 sides connecting. A parallelogram is opposite sides are equal in length. Congruent means sides being of the same length. I hope you enjoyed my presentation on rhombuses, and thank you for watching.